The first thing she talks about is really the limit of the scientific method, and that it's limited to really things that we can reproduce, reason, and that even scientists believe in things that science cannot prove, like things like historical accuracy, using historical evidence, and love, that science can't prove love, and that scientism is really a type of faith where people will often talk about how science is the only truth, and if we can't prove it by science, then it is not true. And she talks about how that's myopic. And for those of you that don't know what myopic means, because I had to learn what myopic means, it means nearsighted, means short-sighted, and that there is a faith beyond also the truth that science can get to, that it is even faith that drives science in some instances, and that there are things that exist, things like meaning and purpose that exist, and we know inherently exist, that science cannot necessarily prove, and that those are reserved for areas like philosophers and theologians. And so let's get to my first point here, which is number one, the limitations of science. Dr. Picard here notes that scientists often operate under the assumption that the only measurable phenomena are real and measurable in scientific means. We know now that we have means scientifically that we couldn't use 100 years ago. We knew they were truths, as science could not measure them, yet we knew them to be true. For example, things like the atom, things like molecules. Now, somehow we knew that there existed something beyond the visible realm. We couldn't prove it, right? The Bible would often talk about it, and science finally caught up to the Bible. When you consider realms like history, philosophy, and even love, these things lie beyond the scientific measure. And Picard's point really mirrors the Bible's acknowledgement that humanity has finite understanding. In Isaiah 55, 8-9, it reads, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways,